What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and used guns, another man's trash that he only shot 5 times is my treasure, another 26, and I won't show you what this is. Anyways, obviously that's just a joke, but at the same time, it's 100% true. You're going to see the full reviews on both of those products, but it is unreal to sometimes get a steal like I did on those used firearms. Trust me, guys, used handguns are the way to go. Normally, someone takes it to the range, puts a box through them, maybe 2 boxes, doesn't like the recoil, doesn't like how it feels in their hand. They didn't shoot it well because they didn't train with it a lot. You'll only get good at something with repetition, with practice, with consistently doing that hobby or skill, right, or trade. But a lot of times people don't do that. Therefore, another Glock 26 in the collection. Because how can you pass up a handgun at a price like that? And we'll go over what I got that 26 for, as well as that mystery box, because I walked out of that place feeling like I ran away with those 2 handguns. And I also want to say, shout out to the person that saw me at my local gun store today. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you watching my videos. That means a lot to me. And like I said, anyone who comes up to me in person, if you ask what I'm carrying, what kind of holster, you'll see exactly what I'm carrying. You'll see the exact holster from all my videos. I don't make this stuff up. This is exactly what I was carrying today, as I just came from work to the local gun store, and that's where you saw me. So shout out to him. Really appreciated the conversation. He actually just picked up a Glock 26 and was carrying it as well. So I love to see that. I love to see that my hard work pays off and people are happy with the products that they purchase. Anyways, let's get into it. So for the channel, I ordered a High Point, as it's one of the most requested handguns, right? I ordered it, paid the money from Palmetto State Armory, and all sorts of things, right? And I'm like, it's weird. I didn't get a confirmation. I didn't get, anything from Palmetto. No emails, nothing. And so I was really confused. And so I looked to see if they charged me, and they did. But there was another charge on there that didn't show up yet. So I was a little confused. So I called them. I'm like, hey, I ordered this High Point. I'm really excited for it. Was really hoping to get it soon, hopefully this weekend, so I could start making videos on it and get to shoot it and stuff like that. And of course, they said, we can't ship it to you. We can't sell it to you. And I said, what do you mean? They said there are certain laws in your states and a couple other states. I said, what do you mean laws? I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have nothing on my record that would cause me to not be a legal gun owner. I have a U-PIN through the federal government, all sorts of things, right? Well, there's a law in my state, and it is true. And I went online, I looked it up, I read into it, and man, is it a ridiculous law. But what's even more ridiculous is that some of these firearm companies make parts, frames, all sorts of stuff that this law prevents from you having these firearms basically in your state. And what is it? So I ordered the High Point 380. I bought it for $118. It was ridiculous. People said I missed my opportunity. I should have got the 9mm, the Yeet cannon, the 10mm. No, I just wanted a cheap hollow point to have fun with. I'm not going to carry it, not going to get serious use out of it. It's more of a meme firearm, like people said. It's more of a handgun just to mess around with and make some funny content with. They do run, though, in most cases. But here's the law. So in certain states, such as mine, it's not a lot, it's only a couple actually, that I found. What it is if a handgun can melt at 1,000 degrees or below, you cannot own it in my state. Or I guess you can own it in my state, but it can't be shipped and it can't be sold at local gun stores. So there's not a single firearm store in my whole entire state that is legally allowed to sell these firearms. High Points, right? And then I said, are those the only firearms where it's like that? And they said, no, you would absolutely be surprised. There are plenty of companies out there, plenty of manufacturers like Ruger and other companies that sell these frames or slides or internals or whatever that have a melting point of 1,000 degrees or lower. And I thought that blew my mind. 1,000 degrees? That really doesn't sound like that much, especially with a handgun, especially if you're dumping it, 1,000 round torture test, whatever the case may be. But would you look at that? The High Point, the metal they use, zinc alloy to be specific. Zinc alloy is the #1 reason a lot of these handguns can't be purchased in my state, which is weird, because other states that are anti-gun, you can still get them in. But in a state that I live in, it's pretty firearm friendly, right? You can't. But it's a zinc alloy. So a High Point, technically, if that thing heats up to 1,000 degrees or even a little bit below, the High Point will melt. Tell me that's not wild. I know it probably isn't sinking in with you guys, but imagine a high point melting. I know it'll never be 1,000 degrees or might not get close, or no one's going to shoot a high point that much to where it gets to that temperature. But that's still wild, and that's still crazy. And on top of that, what a dumb law. Who cares? If it melts, it melts. What else? Why would I have it near 1,000 degrees? What am I going to be possibly doing with a high... I mean, imagine this scenario. I get a high point. Yeah, man, let's run it till it's 1,000 degrees. Like, what? Or it's not like you can leave it somewhere and it just melts. You would physically have to be trying to melt a freaking high point. And that was just wild to me. But anyways, that's the exact reason why I can't get one. So I'm sorry. Now, I was so confused because a local firearm store that my buddy Dan took me to around here, about an hour away. Awesome place. Amazing firearm store. They have everything. They sell G-Force shotguns. They have all these ranges, G-Force lever actions. They got a massive use case. I'm like, it's so weird because I saw a high point at that place. Well, so what it is basically someone had to have gotten a high point and they had to have sold it to them used. So they basically had to get it in, another state, or they moved here, or whatever the case may be, and now they have one in this state, which is illegal to possess, but you cannot sell it from a firearm store. I thought that was wild. I didn't even know laws like that existed, but if the firearm has zinc alloy or a couple other metals in it, those can melt at 1,000 degrees or lower, which is absolutely wild. I mean, you're not going to see that with a Smith or a Glock or Springfield Armory, obviously, but there are a bunch of cheaper firearms out there that have that problem, and you can't get them. So if you're ever wondering in your state, why don't I see high points? Why can't I buy one? That is possibly why. But chances are, guys, you weren't looking for a high point. So instead, I was like, okay, that's the #1 requested firearm on my channel. I wanted to have some fun with it. I wanted to throw it at stuff, right? I didn't necessarily just want to shoot it. I wanted to kick it. I wanted to throw it. I wanted to hit stuff with it. I wanted to train different styles of fighting with it. And what do I mean by fighting? Using it as a club. But we can't. So we'll have to find another way around that for a high point. Maybe, if we travel or whatever the case may be and they have one for sale. I doubt that it'll ever happen. But at the same time, it's a little ridiculous. But sort of a funny story. And I'm able to make some content. So instead, I'm like, you know what, guys? I got to get something that the channel's going to want to see. Obviously, they probably don't want to see a Glock 26. But at the same time, the story behind this firearm is why you're going to want to see the video on this 26. And then right here, my love for Springfield Armory. What in the world could be at this case? All I want to say is I left my local gun store today with a Glock and a Springfield Armory. Reliable as can be handguns. I have variants of both that run flawlessly, never give me a single issue. $729 for 2. That's transfer fees, taxes, everything. Yeah, they gave me a deal because I bought 2 used firearms, and I sort of they're really nice and great people and understanding. And I said, a Glock 26, is anyone going to really buy it? And they said, actually, the 26 popularity is picking up, so maybe. But they gave it to me for a great deal, $730, so we have at least something to replace the high point until we figure that out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.